Good Friday evening, PCS family. Welcome to another edition of Planet Common Sense Laundry Live. Sitting here, apparently all by myself so far, in front of the Charles L. Bryant United States Courthouse in White Plains, New York. I'm gonna talk slower to see if anybody comes in, because I don't see anybody here yet, unless this is just Facebook fucking with me some more. I see two little eyes up top, but I don't see anybody's faces. Come on, I know you're out there. Darla Elkins is the first one in. Darla, it might just be you and me tonight, sweetheart, because we're getting squashed pretty bad on reach and nobody's seeing anything I'm posting. And apparently that's carrying over into this live broadcast because there's nobody coming in here right now. But that's okay, because I'll sit here and talk to myself. I'll sit here and just talk to Darla, my sweetheart, all night. We got a lovely night here in White Plains. Lisa Todd is here. Okay, now we got a threesome. Beautiful night here in White Plains, New York. There are no flies fornicating on my bench, which is a good thing. Like last week. We made it through another week of retail. Just barely, as usual, but we made it. And here we are. Just me, Darla, and Lisa so far. It says there's 6 people in here, but nobody's talking, but that's okay. So, off we go. Thank you, everybody, one and all, for your never-ending support of Planet Common Sense. PCS Laundry Live on Friday nights. Planet Common Sense on Twitter. The Planet Common Sense channel on YouTube. And everything else we try to do. We cannot do it without you. There'd be no reason to do it without you. Although I'd probably do it anyway because I got nothing else to do. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. New people, we did pretty good, ironically, this week, in spite of all the problems and all the reach issues. We did pretty well on bringing some new folks in on both Planet Common Sense and the PCS Memes page. So, any new people, welcome to PCS Laundry Live. It's a completely interactive 1 hour, 60-minute session, live talk on whatever you guys bring in, whatever you all want to talk about. So if you're new, don't be shy. Jump right in. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. And say what you got. And we'll kick it around and welcome. Thanks for joining us. So it's been a weird week, and it's been a weird day, and just everything's weird and funny and funky, and you know, it ends up being like this a lot, but I'm counting on you guys to bust me out of this and get me out of a funk and groove me into the weekend and just chill out and relax on Friday and share what we got to say. I don't have much of anything, so I'm going to leave it on you guys tonight. There's certainly no lack of things to talk about. It's just my brain's not functioning right. So we're going to go right to the scroll. I'm going to say hello to everybody who's here, all 12 of you. And you guys take it from there. Mona Eves is here. Sharon Mondary. Bob Martin's here from Rhode Island. Deborah Patera is watching. Betsy Believable, you're coming in on the meme page just fine. Okay, well, I don't know how that happened. Unless, you know what? I got to figure it out. I had actually asked the lovely and talented Rini Balanis to see if she could share the link from the main page over to the memes page. I got to stop saying main page, because you know what? The memes page is growing in leaps and bounds, and we'll talk about that later. I asked Rini to see if she could share it over to the memes page so we could get a little boost over there and get you guys involved too, because I can't do the broadcast from both. I can only do it from one or the other. And she texted me and said it looked like it was already playing. So I don't know how that works. Like, I guess, I don't know anything, but I'll investigate it and I'll figure it out. But thank you, Rini. She was driving around, and I hope you didn't distract yourself from driving. You shouldn't be on the phone watching me talk to myself on a corner in White Plains while you're driving around the streets of Chicago. But I love you. Thanks for doing that for me. And let's see who else is here. Deborah Patera's here. At least there's no shit on your streets so far. Betsy Believable says, my sister tells me you're not coming in on the regular page. Yeah, you know what? That doesn't surprise me because the regular page is just getting fucked every which way. Like, the reach is ridiculous. I got the memes page going. There's literally a tenth, not even quite a tenth of the number of people following the memes page as there are following the regular page. And the memes page is getting better reach than the regular page. It's getting better coverage. It's getting better response. So they're just jailhouse raping the memes to the regular page right now. And I don't know how long that's going to last and how long, if it's going to keep on going. So I'm beefing up the memes page. And if it gets to the point where it's just impractical to continue on the main page anymore, that's why I'm hesitating to call one the main page and one the other, because it's very possible that the memes page becomes the main page. And you know what? That's the end around. That's how we win that battle. And you want to just keep fighting me and my Metro PCS smartphone versus arguably the biggest social media network in the world. We're not going to win the war, but we're going to win the battles we can, and that'll be one of them. So if you're seeing me from the memes page, let me know. If you're seeing me from the regular page, let me know. I'm not going to go through everything, but, if we get a lot of response on that, but I'll take a look at it later and just, I got to play out and lay out what we're going to do going forward. But I'm just going to keep on talking. How's that? Christian Stillwagon. That's a definite new name. Christian is here from New York City. Christian, I'm just a little north of you up in Westchester County and White Plains. Welcome to PCS Laundry Live. We just throw down the talk for an hour. Everybody's just unwinding from the week, talking about what they got on their mind. So toss it out there, get into the conversation. We got a great group here, and thanks for joining us. Sally Hackney is here. Deborah Patera is the Rose Garden State Dinner. Wish I was there. That's pretty badass. We should have done a watch party. It's probably better than PCS Laundry Live. Jason Lightsey, also another new name, I think. So welcome to PCS Laundry Live. Darla, Area 51 is supposed to get raided this weekend. No, that was today. Darla, from what I understand, I didn't follow it, because I kind of forgot. I didn't forget about it. I remembered, but there was a lot of other things going on, so I wasn't paying much attention to it. And it wasn't playing out like it was huge. I think they put a good squashing on that, on anybody's ideas of going out there and acting up and committing whatever buffoonery they were going to do out there. Which prevented us from seeing a whole bunch of lunatics get cut in half by 50 caliber weapons from the U.S. military guarding Area 51, which could have been a treat, but we lost that. But from what I heard, 200 people showed up, and they just looked at the people at the gate, and the people at the gate looked at them, and they made a little noise, and then they dispersed. They apparently did not find Mark Zuckerberg's parents, which I think was one of the ulterior motives of them going to Area 51. So that kind of petered out. Maybe there's a bigger thing going on tomorrow. Who knows? But I think that was actually supposed to be today. Could be wrong, but I did read some stuff about it today. That about 200 mooks showed up and knocked on the door, and nobody was home, and they went away. So they all got dressed up for them, but they all took the day off today anyway because it was the strike on they're striking against Mother Nature and climate change and whatever all that is. So I think that was what's up with Area 51, Darla. Susan Levy, I had a hard time finding you tonight. Yeah, we just went through that. I'm getting jacked by Facebook still, fuck them. What are you going to do? All I can do is keep talking. All you can do is keep trying to find me. I'll be here and we'll meet somewhere in the middle, and that's the best we can do. Susan Levy. Jason Lightsey, Texas baby, more new people. We got a lot of new folks on here tonight, which is awesome because old folks can't seem to find us. So just keep on coming in. Jason, welcome. Jump right in, man. Lisa Rossell, can't stay long tonight, but here for now. Well, very cool. We're glad you checked in. Catch the replay later on, and I'll have it on the Planet Common Sense channel on YouTube tomorrow morning. Carol Bush, hi Glenn and everyone. Jason, I don't know where you are, but slap a Democrat for us. Man, I can't really act up like that where I am. I am in White Plains, New York, which is a suburb about 20 miles outside of New York City. And it's straight up blue around here, so there's no lack of targets for what you're asking. But it would not be prudent for me to do so because I would be in the extreme minority. And I'd probably get my ass kicked and then arrested. So I'm going to have to refrain from smacking up any left holes tonight. or ever, probably, unless I just snap one day and I just go over the rainbow on PCS Laundry Live for you guys, which, hey, you know, I'm going to snap. I might as well do it with my PCS family and put on a show. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but we're not going to do that tonight. But good suggestion, Jason. Don't think I don't want to. Kevin Hamilton is checking in saying good evening. Christian saying thank you. You're certainly welcome. And everybody say hi to Christian. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield is here. Who else we got? Bob Devon's in here. What's anybody got? Mona Eves, I got here from the main page, but got the option to be notified when the meme page goes live. Crazy. Yeah, man. So I don't know what's up. The pages are not tied together in any way that I did, that I set up, which I just hadn't gotten around to doing that yet. And there's things I can't do because of some technical difficulties I brought upon myself on the main page, which we can talk about a little later if it comes back up, but it's not that big a deal. So listen, whoever you got here, I'm glad you're here, and just enjoy it. We got an hour, and we're just going to chill and dance into the weekend like we always do. Camille Lee, Jason Lightsey, Glenn called you out. Hey, Glenn. Camille Lee, I'm guessing you know Jason? That's great. People making friends on Planet Common Sense. Sally Hackney, only got one thing to say. Can we get Corn Pop on here? Yo, wouldn't that be great? Corn Pop, the Promenade high diving, rusty straight razor wielding gang leader that creepy gropey Joe Biden called out with a chain 40 years ago. But he's dead. I heard he's dead. Like, I don't believe there's a real Corn Pop, or if there is a real Corn Pop, I'm guessing creepy sleepy gropey Joe, cheaty skanky stupid 2-minute Joe might have read his obituary or something. This guy's dead. I can make up a story about him, and kind of went forth with that. But from what I understand, the guy who they identified as Corn Pop from the pool that Joe chased out with a chain is deceased. So as great of an idea as that is, Sally Hackney, future doesn't look bright for having Corn Pop on the show. That would have been fun. We'll get somebody one day. Who else thinks Congress? This is Susan Levy. Who else thinks Congress vacationed in Puerto Rico last year so they could be close to Epstein Island? Yoo-hoo! You know what? Nothing's impossible with those degenerates. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield, Area 51 is one big party. So is that still going on? Like, is some shit, if anybody knows, is like some shit still going on down there at Area 51? Like, are they still trying to crash the gate? Has anyone been gut shot yet? I figured they would have done that right away. Listen, if anybody out there is like, I mean, I don't see why you'd be watching PCS Laundry Live if, like, you're one of those Area 51 heads. Not like, you know, I get it about Area 51. It's cool, and it's like, it's interesting, and it's fun to ponder. But, like, that's fine. It's when you're talking about storming the gates to look for aliens that it becomes a little bit of an issue. So I don't imagine anybody in the PCS family is considering that, because I hate to think we bring that sort of person in here. But if you are, think hard about that, folks, because you know what? If shit gets sideways down there, they're not going to play around. They're going to shoot you. Like, they're not going to play around. They're not going to let you in. So go home or go somewhere. Like, there's like a million bars and hangouts and stuff down there. The whole town is like an alien town. So go somewhere and just have a big dumb alien party and chill. And just don't be stupid. Don't try and get in there. They're gonna shoot you. They ain't gonna play, and they're gonna be right. So please, nobody go to Area 51. Linda Bleefnick, the live show never showed up on the other original page for me. No surprise there. I started noticing some problems, in particular, about 10 minutes before the show came on. So, I mean, you know, a lot of you are in here. The numbers are not like as high as they used to be pre-bullshit jail sentence. And I just figured it had to do with that. But like about 10 minutes before I started the show, I was just on the regular page, and all of a sudden nothing was opening up, and I couldn't get back and forth to anything. I got the 10-minute mark meme posted. I got the song posted. That song, if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to it. It's a great song, Pork Chop Sandwich by Hinge. Hinge is this is from like 20 years ago. These guys are some really good friends of mine. Very cool guys. Used to hang out with them a lot. They actually changed it. If anybody's into like hardcore music, they changed their name to Dry Kill Logic after they were Hinge, and had some pretty good success. Like not huge, but so you might have heard them. But that was a pretty cool song, Pork Chop Sandwich. But anyway, I got those two things posted, but the site was acting hinky, and things weren't opening, and things were going slow. So I had a feeling there was going to be some shit. And that kind of prompted me to, reach out real quick to Rini and see if she could get a link put up on the memes page for access over there, which she said didn't work, but it was already playing over it. Look, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm just an idiot talking into my phone. I'm no tech genius. I'm not, you're here, you found me, I'm talking, we're communicating, we're chilling, and that's all that really matters about that. So what else we got? Bob Devin, you got a message waiting for you after live. Okay, very cool. I'll check that out. I can't really look at it now. I don't want to interrupt everything, but I'll go check. Camille Lee, I look for you all the time, Glenn. Keep up the good work. Camille, thank you so much. And guys, thank you all for doing that. I know a lot of you have been telling me all week, the past couple of weeks, ever since we got back on, that you've really had to seek me out. And I can't tell you how it makes me feel that you're willing to do that and you're not just giving up on it. I know it's been a pain in the ass, and there's not much I can do about it. What I can tell you is a couple of things. Check your settings, because a lot of people told me that during the 30-day hiatus where I was a guest of the People's Republic of Facebook there in the Gulag for 30 days, that their settings got changed up. You got unfollowed. We got all sorts of shenanigans going on. Excuse me. So please, what you can do is just go back into your settings. When you're on the page, go to your settings. Make sure you're following the page. Just click follow. And when you click follow, you get a drop down. You get an option to click see first. It doesn't bump anything else. It just makes sure, allegedly, that you get Planet Common Sense, and whatever other page you click see first on always shows up in your newsfeed or on your screen or whatever, theoretically speaking. Put as much faith as you want into something from Facebook working for you. But make sure your settings are set for follow. Make sure your settings are set for see first. That's your best opportunity, and we've proven in the past that's pretty good at it. Improves your chances of getting Planet Common Sense to show up in your newsfeed and any of your other sites. Do that with any of the sites you like. There's a limit to how many you can do, but it's like 30 or 25 or something like that. So if you got some spare room for Planet Common Sense and me, we'd love to have you do that. The other thing is, again, and I said this about a week ago, and I don't want anybody to panic about anything, even though I said it a little earlier in the show. Go to the PCS Memes site and click follow over there. I started that page out, if you remember, a few months ago. Started it off as just a backup page, just a lifeboat. Look, if anything goes screwy on the main page, here's a place where we can all gather up, meet each other, be like a rally point, and figure out where we're going to go from there. Well, shit happened. Shit went sideways on the main page. We had that, and it worked just as I figured out it would. Okay, I couldn't post there, but what we're doing now is bump that up. We ramped up the PCS Memes page, so it's not just the memes from PCS. It's a mirror. It's an exact mirror. Everything that gets posted on the PCS page is now getting posted on the PCS Memes page. The thing about it is, the PCS Memes page is nowhere near under the scrutiny that the regular PCS page is under right now. Hang on a second. There's a bike, loud, no muffler, speed bike going by. Yeah, okay, great. You got a motorcycle. Fantastic. Good. Have fun. So go to the PCS Memes page. You can either just type in PCS Memes, or the link for it is facebook.com/no-puss-cookies. That'll take you right to the page too. Go there, do the same thing, click follow, click see first. It'll set you up to get us in your newsfeed there. And from what I'm getting in the feedback, you get a lot better chance of getting the page through the PCS Memes page than you do through the regular PCS page at this point. So I hate asking you guys to go to another site. I know I asked you to go to the Planet Common Sense channel on YouTube. I know I keep asking you to go to Twitter, and I keep asking you to do a lot of these things. I'm just trying to make it so we're as vital and vibrant and available as we can possibly be. These are the little things I'm doing to try and make that happen for you. I'm not going to say I'm not going to do it again. It might not be, there might be something else, whatever. It's just the way it is. Go to the PCS Memes page, sign up over there. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't hurt. You just click a couple of buttons. Boom. Even if you want to unfollow the main page and go over there, that's fine with me. It's not about that anymore. I just want you to get access to the page. And if you're interested in hearing what I have to say, that's the way to do it. So, all right, let me catch up now. We got Darla saying, snap, crackle, and pop beat. Snap, crackle, and pop beat corn pop up. Mona Eves, Cocoa Puffs, probably shot corn pop. You guys are horrible. Christian Stillwagon, yes, they've been arrested, obviously for trespassing, but now partying outside the zone. You know what? That's fine. I figured a couple of knuckleheads will get arrested. I'm glad nobody got shot, because like shooting stupid, silly people, even though you had to, would suck. And it would be a rough thing for, like, you know, the American military to have to do. I didn't want any, but you know, who wants to see anybody get gut shot and bleed out in the desert? But yeah, whatever. Let them have a good time. If they're not hurting anybody and they're behaving themselves and they're not trying to breach, you know, highly secured, top secret government military installations, then go party on, little alien weirdos. Have fun. Just keep it clean and have fun. Elaine, is corn pop on ice like Ruthie? Corn pop is, well, I don't know. You might, you know, it's deal. We saw an obituary that was allegedly corn pop. Weigh that against, you know, whatever that site was that put up the obituary for Ruth that time when she was dead, before they brought her back to life. I don't know. I don't know the answer to your question. Who's alive and who's dead? Half of these people could be dead. I swear. Half of them. You know, you look at Dianne Flintstone and you look at drunk Nancy Dutch Pelosi and you look at Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and you gotta wonder if, like, you know, the government or the DNC made some deal with Disney and had a bunch of Imagineers just put together some animatronic robots like they do with the Hall of Presidents, and they just got them programmed. Wouldn't you like to break into that computer and just hack their vocal input and and just have them saying all sorts of great stuff? That'd be awesome. Anybody can do that. Whoever's got the skills, go for it. Mona Eves, that toenail announcement was gross. I'm sorry. It's better than the guy with 18 fingers I used that time. Or that time I put up the Alexandria Cortazio circus monkey with her 8 fingers showing up and saying 10 minutes. I'm sorry about that, Mona. Calista Ramirez is here. Depotera, I bet the state dinner is beautiful in the Rose Garden. That'd be spectacular. That would have been a cool watch party. Maybe we can go, like, if it's a tape of it or something like that. But whatever. Becky Ignasi is here and watching. What's up, Becky? Don't forget, 2 weeks from last night, I think. I got to check the calendar. What's today? The 20th? September 20th? October? No, it's September. It's still September, right? It's not October yet. 2 weeks from last night is the 2nd anniversary of Planet Common Sense on Facebook. And we're going to do a Becky Ignasi sponsored PCS t-shirt giveaway that night. I haven't come up with exactly what it's going to be yet, what the contest is going to be. And when I do, I'm not going to tell you till probably the night before, because I don't want to give anybody like an unfair advantage. I want to get everybody, as many people at the same time, to get started on whatever it is at the same time. Keep it fair. But 2 weeks from Thursday night, we're going to do some cool stuff for the 2nd anniversary. I'll probably do a live show. Maybe we'll finish it off and give the t-shirt away on the live broadcast that night. And we'll see how that all works out. But that's what we're doing. John Lightsey, Rocky looks cute. You should ask her out, Glenn. What are you talking about? Rocky? Who was Rocky? I don't know what you're talking about on that, but Becky. Becky, he called you Rocky. Becky's adorable, but I think she's married, and she lives really far away from me. And I don't really do well, like, with other people in person anyway. I kind of live in the Matrix, Jason. It's just better that way. I'm way better online than I am in real life. So it's just, everything's just better that way. But Becky's definitely adorable. But don't call her Rocky. I saw you corrected yourself, though. Deborah Patera, new grimy leftist scumbaggery with this secret Trump phone call. Fuckers. Yeah, man, whatever. They're just reaching so hard for anything right now. It's just pitiful. I'm not even getting upset about it anymore. And it's like that post I put up, like, good. He's making a phone call, checking up on the crappy grime that Joe Biden is doing with his son and his little nepotism deals with other countries to give his son millions and millions of dollars. I would point out his son, who's even creepier than him, and was banging his brother's wife while he was dying of cancer, and divorced his wife. I'm not even getting into this grimery. I think I'm getting sick, guys, but sorry about that. Yeah, he should be making those phone calls and checking on Joe Biden. I think that's what I want my president to be doing, to prevent some scumbag like Joe Biden, who's doing shady business with another country, from running for president like somebody did in 2016. Hillary Goblin Clinton. So yeah, Joe, you know what? The president's all good, and I'm fine with him calling the Ukrainians about, hey, if I say Ukraze, do I get kicked off Facebook? No, never mind. Let me not twist the tiger's tail. Ukrainians, yeah, man, do what you got to do, Mr. President. We're all behind you. Then the Bleefnik, does anyone know how long Greta Thunberg's visitor's visa is good for? Because dang, she's aggravating. She can go back any time now. You know, Linda, that's your own fault, because you're paying attention to that silly little Cabbage Patch Kid. She's got nothing to say. You know, you come over here on your sunboat, and you're a silly little girl, and you don't mean anything, and just whatever. Say what you got to say. Get back in your little sunboat, float your little ass on home, and be done with it. And that other idiot, David Hogg, is saying she should get the Nobel Prize. And I got an overdose of unhinged fucking toddler poisoning earlier today, seeing that tweet, which I posted for you. I don't care what this little girl has to say. And that's the end of that. That's all I had to say about that. Deborah Terra, Ruth Ginsburg dead was flashed on the screen during Fox and Friends. I remember that. That's what I was talking about before, where they were like Ruth Gator Binsburg, Ruth, the notorious RGB, that they had like whatever, they're like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, 1722 to 2019 or something like that. And then they took it down. But hey, you never know. Little Freudian slip there. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield. Dutch does look dead. Feinstein just looks scary. Feinstein looks like a freaking China doll in some of her pictures. I don't want to get into that. I put her in a meme. No, I didn't put her in a meme. I was going to put her in a meme. The one I did where Nadler was Fred Flintstone. And I always lean towards putting Dianne Feinstein as Dianne Flintstone, because A, she'd be Dianne Flintstone. She's got the right last name. And B, she's kind of got the hairdo. But I refrained from that, and I went with Dutch. I went with Pelosi instead on it, because she seemed a little more relevant to the point I was trying to make. Mona Eves, I'm a nurse. It's hard to gross me out. So congratulations, you did it. Outstanding. My work here is done. Sorry about the toenails and anybody else. Listen, you know what? This is maybe a poll. Like we're doing those polls now, which we're going to talk about that in a minute too. We'll do a poll. What would you rather? Flies fucking on the bench before I start, or gross gnarly toenails before I start? And I could do any number of things, because I get into that little 5-minute zone where I'm like, all right, I got to go find a picture and make a 10-minute marker and pop it up as quick as I can. Who knows what can happen? Anything that's got 10 things on it could theoretically end up being that 10-minute mark meme. So let me know what you like. So yeah, so what do you guys think about those polls? Yesterday sucked, all right? And it's only 3 in. We did the third one today. The first one I thought was pretty good, where you had to choose between voting for Gropey Joe Biden or helping Rosie O'Donnell put on a wetsuit. Like, that was what I'm going for. That kind of like debauchery and degeneracy. That's what I want to do with these polls. And yesterday's kind of sucked. It was just a throwaway because I didn't think of anything. Today's was a little better. Let me know what you think of the polls, guys. If something worth doing, maybe we'll do it less than every day or once a week. You know, give me some feedback on that and let me know what you think of the polls. That's if you even saw them on Facebook. But we're not going to get back into that again. So let me know what you guys thought about the polls, if you think it's something worth doing. I thought it was kind of fun, especially that first one was fun. And if I can maintain it at that level, you know, maybe we'll keep on with them. And you know how it works. You guys tell me what's good, what's bad, what's good, what sucks. Whatever's good, we do. Whatever sucks, we don't do anymore, and we think of something else. So get me the feedback on that. Linda Pleefnik, better online. Aren't we all? Yeah, but you know what? I take it to new levels. Like, I live so in the matrix. I don't even talk to anybody not at work. And that's probably such a good thing, because I shouldn't. I'm just not fit to be around people anymore, because it's been so long. I've been living in the matrix. Like, I just, you know, I do my online thing, and I'm not, you know what the thing is? I don't think there's that much of a contrast. I don't think it's that much different how I am online as to how I am in real life. It's just I think the vehicle makes me better online than it makes me in real life. Nobody should be subjected to being around me. I'll tell you what happened. It's a funny story, man. And you know what? I'm not going to mention any names. Not that you'd know anybody anyway. This is the kind of thing with me, like when I said earlier in the day about like I survived, earlier in the hour, I survived another week in retail. So I was in the store a couple of days ago, and this little old lady came in. Dude, how many great stories start with this little old lady? And she's looking for house numbers, like the nail-on house numbers that you put on the front of your house. And I had, whatever. I got 4 or 5 different ones. And she's like, let me see that one. And I show it to her. I bring it down and hand it to her. And she's like, what? How big is this? I tell her it's 6 inches. And just, boom. Oh, that's way too big. What am I going to do with 6 inches? You don't know how much it takes out of me to step out of Glen like you guys get and be Glen retail and not say what immediately comes to mind in a situation like that. But I bit my tongue and I took a deep breath and I proceeded in a proper manner with that. You guys can figure out whatever the dialogue might have been in Glen World. But that's what I'm talking about, man. I'm not fit to be around people, and I understand that. And that's why I try not to be. So, that's me being better online. Mona Eves, the deep state has no morals. Well, that goes without saying. Sherry Seifert is here. Welcome, Sherry. A little late in the show. What are we, about halfway through? Yeah, just about. I started kind of late today because I was having those tech difficulties, but it is what it is. Mona Eve says she would rather have flies than snarly toenails. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield agrees with that sentiment and says, fucking flies are sweet. Gnarly toes are not. All right, the people have spoken. Susan Levy, how about the dancing food they used to have at the drive-in theaters instead of crusty toes? Send me your ideas, guys. I'm open to anything. And I listen to the PCS family, so whatever you guys bring up. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield, your polls are fun. Usually don't do polls. For fuck's sake, Glenn, you're antisocial. No big deal. I am so antisocial, you don't even know. Like, there was a group that I was in called Antisocial Trump, Antisocial something, whatever. And I'm so antisocial, I was like, fuck all these people, and I quit the group. I quit the antisocial group because I'm so antisocial. But yeah, well, you know what? I got a lot of undiagnosed psychological disorders that we could go over. I'm a functional sociopath. I'm a lot of things we shouldn't talk. I got OCDs. I got food OCDs like you wouldn't believe. We should do that like as a PCS Sunday brunch. I think we might have done that a long time ago. What's your like killer food OCD? I wouldn't even know where to start. But yeah, I got issues. But you know what? I embrace that shit. And I step up. And I get online and I get on your screen and I'm just being me and I'm being the best me I can be and I don't give a shit. So there you go. That's G. That's G World. Mindy Brower, hello from Iowa. Welcome, Mindy Brower. You're a little late, but that's okay. Catch what you missed later on. Sherry Seifert says, Beelzebub means Lord of the Flies. Remember the flies on Obama's and Hillary's faces? They didn't even feel them. Bizarro. That's right. I do remember that. That was pretty crazy. I was wondering if those were those 2 flies that came back and like were humping here where I'm sitting right now. No, it couldn't have been because flies only live like a day or 2. So I guess that's impossible, but I guess maybe it's symbolic, whatever. Donna Power, I do not recognize that name, saying hello. So welcome to PCS Laundry Live here on Friday night. Jump right in. Tell us what you got. I think I'm all caught up with the scrolls, man. So you guys better step it up and start talking more because I'm not going to be able to carry this all this way. Let's go back and see if I missed anything that anybody else said. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield. Pay no attention to the midget Antifa supporter. By the way, is it even a girl? Looks like a boy to me. Now, who is that specifically you are talking about? I don't know. So let me know. We'll touch on that. Bob Devin, 1722. I didn't think she was that young. Thanks for picking that up. That was a little quick aside. Deborah Patera, we're going to Mars with the moon as a launch pad. Fucking awesomeness. What's that all about? Is something, is my boy Elon up to something? Elon Musk pull something out of his hat today that I didn't hear about? Because you know what? When they get that ship ready, dude, I'm first in line. If they'll take a middle-aged, antisocial, slightly out of shape, overweight male and put him on that rocket to go colonize Mars, I'm all in, because I can't wait to get away from this planet. I'll be the first one on the ship. Was that Megadeth? If there's a new way, I'll be the first in line, but it better work this time. Don't. Yeah, I'm okay. Happy. Like, what the fuck was I talking about? We're going to Mars. I'll go to Mars. You gonna come with me, Deborah? What else? Bob Devin is up to 90 days. Don't know what that's about. Better online. We did all that already. Man, you guys gotta get me some more material here. What do we got here? Beelzebub, we saw that already. And later in that Dangerville, let's go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's go to the lobby and get ourselves a snack. It's not a movie, though. Yo, who's going to see Rambo? Or who saw Rambo? Anybody? Is it out yet? I think it came out last night. I was kind of like, I'm going to go see it because it's allegedly the last one. And, you know, it was just a fun franchise. And it's kind of this connection. Due to poor wireless connection, Facebook fucked me and cut the video off. And it seems as though it's back on now. So I'm going to keep on talking, and off we go. So yeah, man, you know what? It's the thing about movies and trailers. Like the Rambo trailer came out, and they always put the best stuff in the trailer. And they didn't have to with this one, so I don't know necessarily. But as soon as I watched the trailer, and they started putting in like lines like, "I'm coming for you," and "I'm gonna hurt you," and it's just like, oh, dude, just don't, man. Like that's the same line they use in every movie. And if that's the best you got, so much you put it into the trailer, I just don't know if I want to go see it. I'll end up probably going to see it. The other one was It. If anybody is going to go see It or has seen It Part 2, which is another one I really kind of want to see because it's one of my favorite books from Stephen King. And I thought the first one was great. Word from my son, Justin, is that it was not that good. It's hard to say and sound like you're making sense. It sounds like a freaking Abbott and Costello bit. It was not that good. What? It? What? It? What? Who's on first? See what I'm going with that. But yeah, Justin said he heard. I don't know if he saw it or if he heard. He said it was not that good. But again, you know, give it a shot. The first one was great. The story was great. Fuck Stephen King a little bit, I guess, because he's a left-hole douche. But, you know, you got to kind of separate your art from your ideology sometimes and just go eat popcorn and have fun. Like I said, you know, if you found out, like, Michelangelo was like a raving left hole, would you not go to the Sistine Chapel and just stare in wide-eyed wonder at that ceiling? You know, I would, and you should. So, again, separate that. So, yeah, man, thumbs down on It and thumbs down on Rambo. I'll tell you more if I see him. Quick while I'm on Justin, nothing's been done yet, but during this week, and it's something that I just missed doing this last couple of days, Justin is officially joining the PCS team as an editor, starting some point this week. He's been contributing memes and stuff like that, helping me out with my, you know, my thinking and conversation and stuff. And we're going to add him as an editor on PCS Memes starting this week. So I'll be more about that later in the week when we get it done. And I'll introduce you and I'll get him on and have you all say hi and stuff like that and introduce you. He's 19 years old and he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders as far as how he lines up with the way Planet Common Sense and the Planet Common Sense family kind of sits ideologically, man, what a mess. Ideologically, pretty good for a 19-year-old. Uncommon for a 19-year-old. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and I think he could bring just a little another aspect to, you know, the way we do things to maybe appeal to a different demographic and expand our horizons a little bit and bring in some new folks. But we'll see how that goes. But Justin will be joining us some point this week. More on that as it comes. Kimberly Elmore, man, you know what? I definitely remember you because you've been around a long time. Kimberly Elmore, you're one of the OG PCSers from before it was even PCS, back on the Chicks on the Right page, if I remember correctly. You've been around a long time, and I don't recall seeing you on PCS Laundry Live before. So very cool that you joined us here. You are saying, I just got home from running errands in the Seattle area. Good grief. The social justice warriors are out of asylum today. I heard a little bit about that being an issue in Seattle. I know it's a huge thing in Portland, and I guess Seattle's kind of similar to that. I just feeling to elaborate a little bit more on what you're seeing out there. Like, it's just so weird that, like, I'm here in New York, and I'm just outside of New York City, which I won't go into New York City unless I have a really, really good reason to do so. But I'm in a small city with about 60,000 people, just outside of New York City, and it's straight up blue, man. Like, it's just pointless for me even to bother going to vote here. And shit like that, because it's as blue as it gets. But we don't get to stuff like this. Is one of those things where, like, the media comes into play, that leftist sock puppet media, and all the things they tell you about, oh, people are shitting in the streets and Antifa is acting up and this parade and this protest and this and that and the other thing. And you hear about it in the media and you hear about it on the news, but I don't see it. And it just seems to me like this is a place where I would, this is the climate. This place has the climate where you'd think you would see stuff like that happening. And I don't. So when people tell me, like, you've got, like, firsthand accounts of, like, stuff like that going on, I absolutely want to hear about it. Like, write about it. Like, write an essay or whatever you want to call it about that. And I'll take a look at it, send it to me, and I'll post it. But, yeah, Kimberly or anybody else who's, like, seeing stuff like that or you come upon something like that, absolutely love to hear about it. It's just so surreal that in the environment I live in here, that I don't see any of the stuff that you see on TV or in your newsfeed or happening, like, on Breitbart or MSNBC or whatever. And you just got to wonder how real it is. Like, it almost seems like it's sometimes, maybe it's made up. So I always value when somebody comes up with some shit they saw. So please let us know more about that, Kimberly. And even if you want to email me or if you want to just send me a private message or whatever, however, just let me know. And also, thanks for checking in. Again, it's nice to see you around. It's funny you popped up because I think you were a part of, not inadvertently, just coincidentally, a part of something that happened earlier in the day. When I was going through the FB Memories, the thing that they send you every day, here's your memories on Facebook. And they show you the shit that you posted a year ago and 2 years ago and et cetera and so on. And 2 years ago, it was a post from me, which is pre-PCS. And it was actually in between the death of, at that time, the Planet Common Sense website and the birth of Planet Common Sense on Facebook. And things were going okay with the website, whatever. We were in the works, and I didn't know anything about anything at that point. And I had put up a thank you to everybody on the Facebook page, just basically saying, look, guys, thanks so much for your support of this thing we're trying to do and this website we're trying to set up. And, basically, like I say to you every Friday night when I open up the show, just thanking everybody for just being there and just listening and talking back and being a part of it. And I opened it up and I went and I looked at the post just from 2 years ago today, September 20th, from 2 years ago, so 97, whatever, 2017. And I opened it up and I looked at, there were 77 likes, hearts, smileys, whatever. And I opened up the list and I went down the list, and out of the 77 names that I saw on that list, probably 70 of you are still people who are around and participate and are even on this show with me tonight and commentating on the show and being a part of Planet Common Sense. And you've been here for 2 years with me. And it was just so friggin' heartwarming and so touching to me to see that. And it sounds goofy and all, I guess, but it really touched me. I was like, that's awesome that you guys have just hung in there with me for that long. So massive respect and thank yous to everybody who's been with me that long. Kimberly, you're amongst them. I don't want to start listing names because I'm going to forget people, but a lot of you guys have been here for the long haul, and I hope you're here for a long time to come. And thanks for doing that then, and thanks for doing this now tonight. And Kimberly, thanks for popping in with us this evening. Elaine, you couldn't even finish his latest book, Aliens Killing Children. Stephen King, I guess you're talking about, because I kind of lost the scroll, kind of lost the groove on the scroll. Man, I was a huge Stephen King fan from when I was a kid. And I stopped reading the last book of his that I attempted. The last one I finished was the one about the Kennedy assassination, where the guy went back in time. Which it was a good book and it was a great idea, but it was ponderous. It was just like 1,200 pages long. And I like to take a book and read it like 6 times. And it wasn't the kind of book you could do. And it wasn't bad, but I just didn't get into it. Then I tried to read, now I don't know the chronological order that these came out in. I tried to read Under the Dome, which was, I think, the book after the one, I can't remember. Obviously, I can't remember the Kennedy assassination name, which is ridiculous because it's the day he was assassinated. That's the whole name of the book. Somebody remembers it, pop it up. But after that was Under the Dome, and I started reading Under the Dome, and I was like, this just sucks. I'm just done. I'm done with Stephen King. And I think that's the last thing I ever tried to read from Stephen King. And I go back to his old stuff every now and then. But then on top of that, he came out like in this last 6 months or so, just being such a left-hole douche. And I'm arguing with myself now because I just said 5 minutes ago to separate those things. But the thing is, I'm talking about quality art and quality writing and quality comedy and quality music can be separated from shitty ideology. When you're putting out shitty writing and you have shitty ideology, that's a great, I gotta make something out of that. Shitty ideology, somebody write that down. Shittyology. Stop line. Okay, so when you're putting out shitty work and shitty ideology, it's okay to separate that. It's okay to not separate that and say, you know what? Fuck off, you're a douchebag, and I'm not reading your stupid books anymore. You filthy, rich, left-hole douche. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Stephen King these days. Much respect for what he did in the past. I was so disappointed with The Dark Tower. I read that shit for 35 years, waiting for them to make a movie about it. Oh, I'm going to get riled up now. I hate getting mad this late in the show, so I'm going to try and just... Man, they finally made the movie, and they just fucked it up and killed it like they do with every single other one of Stephen King's books. And I knew they were going to. I started talking about it 3 years before the movie came out. I was bitching about it already because I knew they were going to fuck it up. And sure enough, people who watched me post going back 3, 4, 5 years, and you can back me up. You know I made posts. They're going to fuck this up. I know it. They're going to fuck this up. And they did. Horribly. And you couldn't have done it at a worse time because that's right about when Stephen King started going south with his spewing. And all right, see, now I'm getting aggravated. So let's move on to something else. Sherry Sievert, have you talked about Colorado passing a law that any female over 11 can walk around with a bare chest? No, I am happy to say that I have not heard of or talked about that until now. I don't know anything about it, and it's just pretty horrible and grotesque, and I can't imagine that that's anything that, you know, a couple of years ago I could say I can't imagine. I can't say stuff like that anymore because I can certainly imagine certain places doing certain things. Almost like you look at it, it's like you're just doing it to spite America proper. And California comes to mind. Well, the shit that goon Gavin Newsom is doing out there, where he's basically just setting up laws to make it into a third world shithole and defy America proper and just be this scumbag little rat hole third world United States state. And I guess they're doing that in places like Colorado too now. I don't know. I mean, thank you for bringing it up. I don't mean to demean or diminish that you're contributing, but man, I could have done without even hearing about that, to be perfectly honest, Sherry. Thanks for bringing it up though. I still love you. We got Kimberly Elmore. I have been around a long time with me, and thank you for that. Kimberly, it's super crazy. We have so many homeless people who just allowed to rob tourists and rob houses. It's so ridiculous. You know, Seattle used to be the most beautiful city I've ever seen, and now it's just a trash heap. Yeah, it's so sad, and just something's got to get done. It's just got to get stopped. And what point do we do that? What point is it okay to say enough? What point is it okay to say enough with this bullshit? That's it. You're sabotaging this country. You're throwing 250 years of development and growth, and you're just throwing it in the toilet. And at what point do we get to say enough. That's enough. We're not taking this anymore. We're going to do something about it. Where is that? Where does that point live? It's got to be near. It's got to be. Because we can't keep going like this. So, I don't know. Kimberly, my sympathies having to put up with that. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. Bob Devin, you don't see the crazy because you're surrounded by it. You don't have anyone to resist against. Yeah, maybe that's it. But it's still a pretty nice little city, man. I mean, like I live in, and I've said that, I keep getting cut off. Sorry about that. We're back on now. I live in like a 99.99999% Hispanic neighborhood. My white ass is the 0.00001% of that neighborhood. And it's just like everybody's chill. Everybody goes to work in the morning. They come home at night. They sit on their front steps. They party in the backyard and do their thing, and nobody bothers anybody. I walk into like I'm in like the other side of the tracks right now. It's like right over there across the street that I'm looking at right now. That's where Section 8 housing is. That's where that's like the other side of the tracks. And I can walk over there right now and walk down the street and nobody's going to bother me. I can walk anywhere in the city and nobody bothers me. Like, I just don't see the shit you hear about. I don't even know really what it's like down in like Manhattan, but I imagine it's pretty close to here. I guess you go out into Brooklyn and parts of Queens and stuff like that in the Bronx, and you start seeing a little grime because there's just not as much money there as there is as a place like in Manhattan or here in White Plains where it's a little wealthier. Like we're in Westchester County. It's like one of the wealthiest counties in the United States. So maybe that's the difference, and maybe that's where like you see shit going down like in Brownsville and Cypress Hill where they're shooting at each other like it's Chicago. You don't see that in Manhattan. You don't see that here in White Plains. But you see it on TV and you gotta wonder if it's real. And I'm not going down there to find out. But maybe I shouldn't again twist the tiger's tail. Now watch I get shot walking home tonight. That'd be me. At least it'd be a good story. Elaine, I lived in Portland and Seattle in the mid-'80s. They were the coolest towns. It's what I always heard. Seattle seemed awesome. Like wasn't crazy about the grunge scene and the music they came out with, but you could see it was like a vibrant scene out there. Like it was a live happening thing. It was very trendy. Everything you saw on TV was awesome, and now you hear it's going to shit. And it's got to stop, man. We got to figure this out. And again, there I go, bringing up the questions with no answers for you. I'm sorry if you expected anything out of me, if I've disappointed you, but I don't have the answers, but I bring up the questions. Sally Hackney, keep cutting in and out. Yeah, I know. I see it happening here. I saw it happen twice here, and it came right back on both times. Let me see if I could just gracefully get out of the show at this point. We got about 5 more minutes to go, so I'm going to ride it out and hope we don't cut anymore. I apologize for the cutouts. There's nothing I can do about that, guys. You know how that goes. But thanks for letting me know. Jeff Fitzsimmons, been here 2 years and enjoys the page. Thank you, sir. Susan Levy, I walked out of Stephen King's Dreamcatcher. Didn't even go see it. Kimberly Elmore, I love the community in this group. Sometimes it's just good to converse with like-minded people. Kimberly, you got to jump in more. I didn't even know you were still around. And it's funny that I saw that post earlier today and I saw your name pop up on the screen. And now here you are tonight on a live show. So if you've been around and I've just been not noticing you, I apologize. But I remember you used to participate a lot. Just get in there more. Jump in. You're welcome here. We want you here. Al Carpenter with a last-minute jump in. He hasn't been the same since he tried being a speed bump. Been so weird and progressive since. Don't know who you're talking about, but when I check it tomorrow morning, when I do the recap and go through all the comments, I'll get that in context and I'll answer you then. And again, new people, I didn't mention that earlier. I don't see all your comments. So if you said something and you joined in and I didn't respond to you, that's not what I typically like to do. But I miss stuff. It comes by fast. And a lot of the comments don't come up for whatever reason. On Saturday morning, I go back, I go through the whole show, go through the comments, and address anything that needs to be addressed and say hi to you then. And Al, do the same with you. So sorry about that. I didn't let you guys know that before. Al Carpenter sounds like child pornography to me. Now I'm even more intrigued. Elaine Arnett Dangerfield, look at it, a clown in tunnels, an alien clown at that dead kids. It's a good story though. It's a horror movie. I don't go to horror movies, man. Last horror movie, I don't know if I ever told you this before, I'm terrified of horror movies. The last horror movie I ever went to go see consciously and my kids break my balls mercilessly about it, was Dawn of the Dead in 1978 when I was about 12 or 13 years old. I went to see that fucked up movie, and I didn't sleep for about 6 weeks, and I've never been to a horror movie since, and there's nothing you can do to make me go to one either. That's my freaking kryptonite right there. I don't do horror movies. So, but I went to it, but it wasn't really a horror movie. It was more like a suspense movie. Plus, I read the book, and I knew everything that was coming. And I gotta be honest with you, as much as there was a big sucky part about the miniseries of it that they put on TV about 15 or 20 years ago, but I still liked it better. And I did like the first It movie that was out like 2 years ago, but I still like the miniseries better with John Boy Walton and Jack Tripper and all those people, and that redhead, I can't remember her name, but she was smoking hot. And what's his name as the clown, as Pennywise? Who was it? The guy from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I can't remember. I can't believe I don't remember his name. He's such a great actor, and he was great as Pennywise, way better than this guy. This guy was pretty good too. But I actually liked the miniseries better. The shit part of the miniseries, you sat there and watched it for 6 hours, and the whole thing was real good. And they apparently ran out of budget toward the end, because when they came out with like the spider that was supposed to be the manifestation of the monster in the miniseries, was like a friggin' 99-cent rubber spider on a string that they went and they bought down at the dollar store because they ran out of money for special effects. And I sat through that whole thing, and then the monster comes out and it's like doink, 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 doink. Hi, I'm a little rubber spider. Ooh, be scared. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding. And I think I was like about 22, sitting in my mother's living room, and jumped up and was like, you gotta be fucking kidding. And my mom was like, take it easy. But yeah, man, that was a shame they did that, because that was actually pretty good. I would go watch that again before I watch this incarnation of it. Checking the time, and I think we've got about an hour in, so I'm gonna wrap this up, do all my quick pimping. Check out Planet Common Sense on Twitter. If you do Twitter, go to Twitter, look up @GlennPCS. Follow us on Twitter. We got a lot of fun stuff happening there. The Planet Common Sense channel on YouTube is not cooking. It's still only just hosting episodes of PCS Laundry Live. Put them up there every Saturday morning so you can watch them there without comments on them, which I don't know how that is or not. It's kind of weird for you. But if you go and watch there, click subscribe. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I can do live shows on the YouTube platform instead of here on Facebook, where they quell my reach and they keep cutting me out. We'll do them on YouTube instead and then post them up here. So if you go to the Planet Common Sense channel, just type in Planet Common Sense on YouTube. It'll pop right up. I don't even give a shit if you watch anything. Just click subscribe and boost the numbers up. Get me to 1,000 subscribers and I'll take it from there. Absolutely check out the PCS Memes page. Like we talked about before, it's gone from being a backup satellite site to being a mirror to the regular PCS page. Everything that gets posted on Planet Common Sense is now getting posted on Planet Common Sense Memes, and the access for you folks is unquestionably better from that page than it is from the regular page at this time. So if you're having trouble finding me on the regular page, PCS Memes is a good option. It also helps me out. Get over to PCS Memes. It's at facebook.com/no-puss-cookies. Click follow on PCS Memes and click see first. And I think that's about it. Everybody, thank you again for coming in here tonight, listening to me talk for an hour. I love every single one of you guys. I hope everybody has a great weekend. People down in Texas, sorry, I almost forgot. I hope you guys are all okay down there. We did the little check-in earlier. Anybody down in Texas, hang in there and don't get crazy and just try and be as safe as you can. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you on the boards, and I am out.